Great. Well, first of all, welcome everybody. And, we are now on our fourth quarter meeting. And as you know, this is years gone by too fast. And today I'll call this meeting to order. There are a few household administrative items I'd like you to just to repeat. As this is a virtual meeting, please silence your phone, remove any background distractions, TVs, etc. Mute your mic unless you're speaking. Raise your hand, literally or virtually, if you want to ask a question or speak. Please also remember to respond to Lisa's calendar invite in a timely manner. Register in advance to receive your Zoom link. This ensures that we all have a quorum and necessary for voting on commission business. Attendance is a key part of the committee and participant activities. So now we'll take attendance. Please say yay when Lisa is calling her name.
Good evening, everyone. I have Commissioner Amarjeet Sandhu.
Yes.
I have Fahim Rafiq. He's here. I know. I saw him.
Yes.
Okay. Aman Shagal,
Yes, ma'am.
Prateek Manan,
I'm here.
Devag Shaw.
Present.
Okay. Radha Khan,
Yes.
Nivea Overy,
Present.
Arti Bat,
Present.
Faisal Qadar,
I'm here.
Archana Thacker.
Present.
Am I missing anyone?
No, and we have the chair.
Yes.
Present. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Who would like to move to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say yay.
So Nivea Ori, Commissioner Ori made the motion
Yes.
to adopt the agenda. Who seconds the motion?
Second, Raza.
All in favor of the agenda, please say yay or raise your hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yay.
Any
Yes.
nays? Right, no nays, so we'll adopt the agenda. Who would like to move a motion to adopt the meeting of the minutes for the third quarter?
I adopt the meeting, Archana.
Sorry,
Who will
were
second
there
it?
were there any edits or changes to the minutes?
No?
No? Now please make your motion. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep, all in favor, please raise your hand or say yay.
Who seconded the motion to Commissioner Thacker?
Fahim.
Fahim. Okay, thank you.
All in favor, say yay.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Yes.
Any nays? All right, we'll adopt the meeting minutes. And now I'll introduce somebody who needs no introduction, and that's our Administrative Director, Christina Poi, who will make a brief remark and introduce other GOSI staff or any of the speakers.
Good evening. Nice to see everybody using the new background. For those whose faces we don't see, we would like to see your face if you're in a safe place to do so. And I just wanted to report back to you that since our last meeting in September on the 24th, on behalf of the Governor's Commission on South Asian American Affairs, I attended 20 meetings and 9 events. And of the commissioners, I have noted that there were at least 6 events that the commissioners attended. I'm not counting the Diwali but I should count that one because that was a big one, the one that we had at Government House. So so I will say 6+ events. And remind everybody that when you want to represent as a commissioner at community events, that you complete the GOCI event request form, which is a part of the SOP. Some of you are doing so and doing a great job of that. And I encourage the rest of you to also do that, and also to remain in contact with myself and the chair so we can have this information for reporting purposes. And so just continue doing so. Thank you. Now, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker this evening, and that is Mary Zell Galen, who is a museum and historic preservation professional. She's passionate about community-oriented service, or community-oriented science, history, and arts institutions. She currently works as the programs and partnership specialist at the Maryland 250 Commission, where she develops programs and events as part of Maryland's commemoration of America's 250th anniversary. Before joining the Maryland 250 Commission, she worked in the Office of Research, Survey, and Registration at the Maryland Historical Trust and for the Virginia Museum of Natural History. While in school, she interned with a variety of institutions, including the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum and the Robert Russa-Moton Museum. She earned her master's degree in Science Museum Studies from the Cooperstown Graduate Program at SUNY, and she received her bachelor's degree from Longwood University, where she majored in history with a concentration in public history and a minor in business administration. Outside of work, Mary Zell enjoys spending her free time reading, running, and visiting museums. Mary Zell?
Thank you so much for that introduction, Christina. I didn't quite realize you were going to read all of it, but that was very kind. I'm so excited to be speaking to all of you tonight to share a little bit about the Maryland 250 Commission. I'm going to pop over to share my slides. And I do really want to keep this program conversational. So please feel free to jump in if you have any questions or feedback throughout the presentation. I'm happy to I really want to keep it conversational in the chat throughout. So I work for the office with the commission within the state of Maryland that's planning the United States semi-quincentennial in Maryland. I know semi-quincentennial is a sort of an awkward long word, but it stands for the 250th anniversary of this country. And the semi-quincentennial means a lot of things to a lot of different people. We have, just as this country is has a diverse range of political opinions, cultural backgrounds, and just regional understandings of the country, so do all the various 250th celebrations that are occurring throughout the country, ranging from some in states maybe a little more conservatively to more an inclusive history angle. So, and that all leads up to, regardless of how you're commemorating this event, this anniversary is occurring on July 4th, 2026. However, many commissions and organizations are really viewing this as more of a civic season and planning activities throughout the entirety of summer 2026, both before and after the anniversary. There's quite a few different organizations that are planning 250th activities. It obviously just isn't just my office. There is a national commission, America 250, that is planning activities. There are state commissions in every single state throughout the country, including Maryland, where I work for at Maryland 250. And then throughout Maryland, there are local commissions in nearly every county, or sometimes multiple county regions, including ranging from some centered around a city like Annapolis 250, or Southern Maryland 250, which is a conglomerate of 3 counties planning activities. And then finally, there are various affinity groups planning on different activities. The Daughters and Sons of the American Revolutions are very active. However, I just wanted to bring it to the attention of this group that the Declaration of Independence 250 Asian American celebration is planning activities as well. Though I'm less familiar with their organization, it looks like they're just getting started, but they have quite a few different plans outlined on their website. So that's definitely worth following along for. So I'm going to walk you all through a little bit about what each of these planning groups is doing to honor this anniversary. We're going to start nationally with the United States, and then we're going to work down to a micro level and then talk about what's happening in your individual counties. So at America 250, there's been some changes with the presidential administration, but as of now, a couple priorities is Our American Story, which is this Airstream trailer that is traveling around the country and recording different oral histories and memories of Americans throughout the country. They also have America Gives, which is a community service campaign, and they just entered their 3rd year of the America's Field Trip program, which is an essay contest designed for K-12 students to write about what America means to them, and they have the chance to win different field trips to different national landmarks throughout the country. Right now we're really pushing America's Field Trip in Maryland. The cohort just opened to apply. So if you have any K-12 students in your life who might be interested, or educators, make sure they're aware of this. In addition to the national-led programs, there are quite a few different programs that are initiated by individual states, many of which that Maryland is also participating in. There was Two Lights for Tomorrow, which was a program that initiated last year, commemorating the 250th anniversary of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. And in Maryland, many towns throughout Maryland celebrated this anniversary by hanging 2 lanterns and a high point throughout town, including in the Maryland State House. There's also the Sharing the Spirit of America program, which is initiated by Hawaii 250, where they are organizing readings of founding documents on July 8th, 2026. The goal is for all states to have a reading of the Declaration of Independence, as well as other documents at 6 p.m. on that date. In Maryland, because we are really prioritizing taking an inclusive history angle, we aren't looking to only read the Declaration of Independence. We're hoping to read quite a few different other famous speeches, including What to a Slave is the 4th of July by Frederick Douglass. There are also quite a few efforts to plant Liberty trees or tree plantings throughout the country. Many states have participated in this, as well as new efforts are happening in Maryland to plant trees in different communities. There's the America's Potluck program, which is initiated by Utah 250, which Maryland 250 has adopted, though we're not planning programming specifically for it, where communities are encouraged to host potluck dinners to really come together as a community and just really getting to know your neighbors in honor of the 250th. Finally, Connecticut is planning a recommitment ceremony where they're asking elected officials to recommit to the ideals of the founding of this country. And in Maryland, we're tying this event to the Sharing the Spirit of America event, and we're looking to plan this on the steps of the State House on July 8th of next year. All that being said, I wanted to provide a little bit of an overview of what exactly Maryland 250 is, because we're doing things a little differently than what's happening at a national level. First of all, we are guided by an executive order that was issued by Governor Wes Moore, which really takes an angle really requesting this commission to be as inclusive as possible and taking a special effort to representing and sharing stories of underrepresented history stories, and also highlighting stories of immigrants, of new Americans, and also younger Americans as well, and really trying to capture youth engagement in this commission. We're also taking what I'm calling a big history approach with this commission, where we're not just commemorating the events surrounding the American Revolution. Though Maryland was one of the original 13 colonies, it was not the most active in the Revolution. So it makes a little more sense for us to just, and it really ties into our inclusive history angle as well of commemorating 250 years of Maryland and American history. We're also guided by 3 themes that were outlined in the governor's executive order: history, civics, and service. And all of our programming ties around one of those 3 angles. And then finally, we are much like you all, are a state commission. We have 34 commissioners and 5 staff people who are employed by the Maryland Department of Planning. So in addition to what's happening at a national level, I really want to dive into what's happening in Maryland, the activities my office is organizing. One of the programs we're the most excited about is our small grants program, where we've been able to give away a significant amount of funding through a program initiating paid internships, as well as a program that is offering citizen academies for opportunities for the general public to learn about their government, a program to offer inclusive history related exhibits and sort of museum specific programming, as well as a grant program for local 250 commissions to be able to offer really big flashy commemorations around the summer and the 4th of July. One of our other initiatives is the Maryland Mosaic program, which is a book written by 2 passionate community volunteers outlining different firsts throughout Maryland history. We've also had a young singer-songwriter, Jayla Elise, write The Heart of Maryland in honor of this anniversary, and efforts are being made for The Heart of Maryland to become the official state song. Jayla Elise is very generous with her time and sings at many of our events. We also hosted this past summer and will again next summer our Revolutionary Baseball series. A lot of people, history just isn't their passion, but they like other things such as maybe sports. So we offered, we tabled at and hosted outreach events at 6 minor league ballparks throughout Maryland this past year and will again next year to really, as an awareness campaign to make more folks aware of this anniversary and share ways they can get involved in their local community. We're also planning, along with several organizations in Brooklyn, New York, a remembrance ceremony in honor of the Maryland 400, which is a regiment that fought and really sort of saved the Continental Army during the Battle of Brooklyn during the first year of the American Revolution. So that anniversary will be next year, and we have a lot of programming tied around that commemoration. And then finally, we're in the process of launching 2 new initiatives. One is our Civics Moonshot program, which will provide a burst of civics education programming ranging from a civics related book club to a civics challenge, which will be launching shortly, and our Freedom of the Press initiative, which is a 2-fold program where we are preserving the collection from an historic print shop in Annapolis from colonial Annapolis and working with archaeologists to ensure this collection is preserved, and then offering an exhibit and interactive program about the legacy of freedom of the press in Annapolis particularly. Finally, in addition to the work we're doing at Maryland 250, we're also working with quite a few different promoting partners for activities happening next year and sort of around that time period. SAAL 250 is occurring in Baltimore the week before the 4th of July, where we'll also include a Blue Angels air show and different really exciting programming in honor of the anniversary. In 2027 is the 200th anniversary of American railroading. Railroading actually got its start in Maryland with the B&O Railroad, and we're doing work to help cross-promote their anniversary. And then finally, we've been working with Maryland Public Television to help different communities offer showings of the new Ken Burns documentary, The American Revolution, which I believe is airing live on TV starting this week or next week. So mark your calendars for that. We have local commission launched in nearly every county in Maryland at this point. We're still hoping that 3 more counties will be able to launch commissions. In addition to the county level commissions, there's quite a few other big anniversaries happening next year, including 3 different colleges and universities throughout Maryland, and both Deep Creek Lake and Ocean City have big anniversaries. And these local commissions are offering a range of programming. Christina really asked me to speak about the programming offered by individual communities, which is sort of one of the more, I think, exciting elements of what's happening throughout the 250th, because each community's angle is sort of taking a different spin to really represent what holds true to their ideals. Quite a few regions, including parts of Central Maryland and Prince George's County, are offering a passport program where individuals can collect stamps at different historic sites and museums to really encourage them to visit different local museums as a way to get engaged with this anniversary. There's a big geocaching experience that was launched by the Heart of the Civil War Heritage Area, which is a big scavenger hunt. And again, providing you an opportunity to visit different historic sites and museums that might not have been on your radar before. There is several genealogy workshops planned, both around tracing ancestry from the American Revolution, but also more of a general approach. There is also a bike tour. This is one of the programs I'm particularly excited about that is being offered by Prince George's County's 250th to visit different battlefield sites around the Bladensburg area. There's also quite a few different educational programs. Harford County has really led the way in offering a variety of programs through their historical society that are all themed around the 250th, and we'll be doing that throughout next year. There's many campaigns to expand the commemorative markers throughout Maryland, including in Washington County. Washington County also turns 250 next year, along with the country. So that's a really exciting milestone for them. And of course, a lot of energy is being planned around 4th of July events, particularly in Annapolis, where there'll be a citywide event throughout the entire 4th of July weekend. And finally, just as I wrap up, I want to make you aware of the American Association of State and Local History, which has offered an array of resources. I am happy to share a link to their programming guide to you, which really outlines ways you can create your own 250th programming in your own community. It's really an invaluable resource, and it's aimed at not statewide commissions like me, but individual community partners of being able to really have achievable programming in honor of the 250th. So, and with that, I just wanted to ask if there were any questions.
Okay, so I'm not sure. I didn't see who raised the hand first, but can somebody point out to that, or if it's okay, I
It
can.
looks like Preeti.
Preeti, okay, Preeti,
Was the
can you
first.
please? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo. This is really amazing. It's helpful to have all the information in one spot. I'm guessing we'll have access to this presentation at some point, but the links would be helpful as well that you mentioned. When I guess some of these resources, is there like a blast out to the nonprofits throughout the state so they're aware and they can start, or is that something that you think the commissioners should help like spread the word through the different nonprofits that they work with or volunteer with? Like, how do you envision getting the information out?
I think the answer is really both. This commission was formed in 2023, and the director, Michelle Johnson, has worked really hard at interacting with different nonprofits, museums, historical sites, and tourism organizations throughout the state. But of course, any support from folks on this commission or any other of the commissions and the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives is very beneficial. And we're definitely looking to reach new audiences, especially who we might not have already had a connection with.
Is there like a flyer that we can kind of share with folks or like pass that on?
Yes, I can definitely get you
Okay.
some information.
Okay. Cool.
And I'd be amiss not to also promote our website. I'll put a link in the chat so you all can check out what information we have online, which really highlights a lot of our events and different stories we're hoping to share about this anniversary.
Right. Thank you.
Is Raza on? Raza, are you on now?
Yes, I've been here.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I thought you wrote that you're not here. But anyway, Christina, do you know who was next? Was it Aarti or Raza? I'm sorry. The yellow background kind of just kills it. I mean, it's
Yes, Aarti was the next
Aarti.
one.
Okay, got it. Okay, Aarti, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Mary, thanks so much. That was a lot of information, a lot of great information. I guess my question really is focused on are there expectations for the commissioners or the commissions, all the various commissions within the GOSI office on participating by hosting any type of events. I know considering the commission was set up in 23, I believe you said, so there's been ample time for you all to plan. So my question really is if, if there is an expectation, what is it? And also if you have any insight on what some of the other commissions may be planning or looking into exploring some options in how they can contribute. And is there, I guess as a three-part question, maybe there is a way for us to collaborate with them as well as a GOSI office versus individual commissions?
That's a great question, and definitely a three-part question of different many things to answer. I guess as sort of a first remark, Larry Walker, who's I believe is the director of GOCHI, is one of our commissioners. And I'd really defer to what he might have guidance for your department as a whole that I definitely don't have the authority to suggest. That being said, we'd be super excited. However, you'd be interested in being engaged. We've worked closely with quite a few of the staff members in your office. We haven't worked nearly as much with different of the individual commissions themselves so far. That being said, I'm happy to get you a list of different activities that I can send to Christina to share out after the meeting of different ways to become engaged that have been successful so far.
Yeah.
There's been really a range of everything from community service efforts, such as cleaning up military cemeteries and doing cleanups at those types of sites, to more volunteering within and supporting a lot of programming that is happening at different museums.
Got it. I guess then I should maybe direct this question and we can maybe come back to it later and we can put a pin in it. Christina, I know that we have talked about 250 in previous meetings as well. And I think I would just like, of course, all the commissioners, but just a better understanding, what the expectations are of this commission or from Larry, from the GOSI office. I know that there have been a few emails around what type of activities could we, kind of organize or collaborate on. So maybe that's just more information that you would like to share with us. We don't have to do that now. We can certainly do that later.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. We can talk about it later, not to take away from the time now, since I would be just reiterating, I think, or summarizing what was brought up 2 meetings ago. And there was a list, and that was, those ideas were put into the minutes from that meeting in July.
Right. Right. So I guess my question is, considering Larry is part of this commission, are there other expectations that he has based on his insights from the commission? Things like the blood drive and, we need direction is what I'm saying. We need direction. I know there's been lots of ideas around, how do we organize and collaborate and volunteer our time. But in order for us to actually get this going, I need some more guidance.
Well, I think some of the other commissions have already initiated their projects or their initiatives. Some of the other commissions are already having things in the works.
Okay,
So I think what this commission might want to start doing is having a planning committee and meeting for that.
So I guess, Mary, the question then comes back to you. I think, in terms of any of the planning or exploration of activities or events that this commission may want to do, would we go through, just to get it vetted and, just to tie it all back to, does it make sense, right? Does Mary take a look at it or Mary's team take a look at it, just to ensure that, it always ties back to the theme and it ties back to the mission that MD 250 has. And so we're not off on some different tangent.
So plenty of different organizations throughout Maryland are planning events that we might not be privy to the details of. We're super excited to promote them, but we haven't been involved in the planning process. That being said, we are always enthusiastic to co-sponsor or co-brand events. And that would require it to sort of work through the Maryland 250 team first, but we'd be happy to provide then like access to like our logo and branding to really help cross promote those things. So from the Maryland 250 perspective, either can work. It just depends on how you want to brand the event.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, Reza.
Thank you, Chair Takar. Mary, I apologize you cannot see me. I am confined to a restroom at a wedding event, so I'm going to, as long as nobody flushes the toilet, we are good. I apologize. I'm going to barrage you with questions because I do need to leave the restroom in the fear of somebody walking in and flushing the toilet. So here are my questions. Number one, and by Chair Takar, if she forgets, can you write them down too for me as well too? Because this is one of the reasons I'm here and not attending the event, because I think as we have internally talked about MD250 quite a while. So number one, MD250 website is the most pivotal website we have, and that is at the forefront of how we're going to advertise it beyond the flyers as well. So when I look at the website, MD250 website, here are my questions and my concerns. Number one, we are an ethnic commission, and you know that we are mandated by the executive order as well too. So it would be kind of cool to have us listed whether we do an event or not, because there is a place where you have get involved, and there are commissions, local commissions, but the state commissions, ethnic commissions don't exist on the website. So if I just move to Maryland, I have no idea that the South Asian Commission even exists, because who knows about Goshi? And the people only know about Goshi are people who either work for Goshi or are part of Goshi, who have participated in events. But an average Joe and Jill out there has no clue about Goshi. So if MD250 website is the pivotal site for us to work through, so that's one. Number two, I'm glad that Larry Walker is on the commission of the MD2 commission of the commission. And again, to Aarti's point, I think it would be kind of cool where you guys have a rolling banner of events to have at least one of the Goshi events, whatever commissions. I don't want to I don't want to say that we should be the only one listed, but perhaps out of 50 events that are going around a banner, there should be an event by the Goshi, because as Christina Poy said, some people have started working on that, and if something is planned, it should be there. My two other concerns, actually my three other concerns. Yeah, my three other concerns, because I'm trying to remember, and I'm trying to be quick too. Sorry, Chetakar. So my number one concern is the languages. So when you go to MT250 website, it has very restrictive languages there. So you can choose a language, and the only South Asian language that's listed, I think, was Gujarati or something. It was not even Hindi. So when you look at the population, and I'm saying that all South Asian languages should be represented, but I think Punjabi was the only one, or Gujarati was the only one that representative. So I'm kind of curious as to who decided that. And then the other big thing I couldn't understand was when we come to the donate side, it goes to Upper Alliance, and I'm thinking there are two issues. That donation side doesn't say if it's tax exempt. My donation is tax exempt, and I don't know who the heck is Upper Alliance is. So that's something. And the last feedback I would give, which is probably the most critical one, Governor Moore did sign on that all the websites should be accessible. And a friend of mine did check that MD250 is not accessible to his whatever tools they use, for assistive tools they use. So I don't know if you handle the MD250 website, but I'm looking from that perspective, because that's where I'm going to be borrowing ideas, or maybe joining bands with other groups there. So those are the things. But other than that, thank you for your presentation, because it really does help.
And thank you so much for all that feedback. Those are definitely, I made a list of your three comments, and I'm really eager to share them with our team, particularly the language tool. I think really is limited, and I wish it was a little maybe more officially done than a Google Translate tool. So I will definitely bring that forward to see what we can do about that. In addition, Uplift Alliance, just for a point of clarification, is our fiscal sponsor. Because we're a state agency, folks are often not inclined to donate money and funds to the state of Maryland. So they are our 501c3 nonprofit that we partner with. Many state organizations that might be around a little longer might have more of an official friends group or an associated nonprofit in name. But because this is a temporary commission, it just made a little more sense for the situation. And I am aware about the accessibility point. I'm really hoping we can make some improvements between now and 2026. The Maryland Historical Trust, which MD 250 sort of falls under, is also right now in the process of making some major accessibility changes based on the order by the governor. So we're also working through that. But thank you so much. That's really helpful feedback.
And then the last one was the two questions was that and the donation site doesn't say if the donation is tax exempt or not. And the other thing is if Christina is okay with it and Chip the car is okay with it because they run the show, can we be listed when it says get involved? Because we are not listed. All local commissions are listed, not all, well, some of the local commissions are listed, but it's kind of behooves me that we are not listed. And we are the appointed commission to serve the community that we represent.
I can definitely, again, bring that also up to our team to really add that. That's something we hadn't previously thought about. In full disclosure, on the Get Involved page, we've been primarily featuring regional 250 commissions. But I think you make a really good point about the value of sort of cross-promoting, especially as your commission and other commissions plan 250th activities. So I will also bring that forward. To the tax exempt point, donations are tax exempt, and I can also work to see what we can do to update that language.
Thank you so much. And sorry about the barrage of questions. That's not my
No,
style.
they were
but...
super helpful, and I'm really eager to share your feedback and also everyone's feedback with our team.
Does someone, sorry, I just have another question. So Mary, I'm going back over my notes here. The America's Field Trip initiative, is this something that the commission is already working with different K-12 different schools throughout the state? Has this already been pushed out? I'm asking only because I had, two children, I think many of us here within the public school system. So I think this could be a really great opportunity for us to push this out to our own counties and schools. So I'm curious in terms of, what is the campaign to push this out and just creating more social awareness, or is the commission working directly with the schools?
So we are working directly with the state education office, sort of does the program curriculum planning for the social studies curriculum. That being said, we've worked with some individual schools. We definitely have room for improvement. At schools where we have like an individual teacher who really buys in and gets excited about it, those are the schools we have the highest application rates. For example, we had one individual middle school in Harford County for the last cohort where they had more applications from that individual school than any other schools in the state. And that's because of the work of one or two very dedicated social studies teachers.
Right.
In my email of sort of links and information to share after the meeting, I will include links to the America's Field Trip programming that I'll send to both Christina and Lisa for both of them to be able to send out to you all.
Yeah, that would be great. And I think I'm going to assume it includes deadlines and any, what the deliverables are.
Yes,
Great.
it does. And I'll make sure to include all those deadlines too.
Okay,
It just
wonderful.
reopened for the year, so there is still some time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aarti. Yeah, so I'll just make it quick. But thank you, first of all, Mary, for the presentation and kind of coming on today. We have been talking about this for almost a year, but I do have the same sentiments as Aarti, that there's not much clarity of how to participate and what opportunities there are. I mean, I know there's a website, and when we looked at the website about 6 months back, there was very little information on there. It might have gotten updated now, and I do appreciate Christina, you saying that two meetings back we had something that we talked about. But again, I think the biggest clarity we need is how do we roll it out, county by county, and how do we, showcase, maybe some of our cultural activities or our sports or our history of, the immigrants who came here from all the different South Asian countries or from any of the, Asian countries. So I think there's still not that clarity of, what events we can participate, whether it's sponsored by the state or it's sponsored by the county or it's sponsored by local commissions. So I think that organizational stuff is not very clear. So is there any light you could shed on that and give us some guidance on that, where we should start? Because time is very little now. And all our commissioners are very excited about this. And, but unfortunately, we haven't been able to, share our excitement with anybody yet. So would appreciate that guidance.
I'd really encourage you to partner with your local 250 commission. They are by far the most active organizations that are planning 250th activities throughout the state. Unfortunately, Montgomery County, which is a big population center in the county, has not launched a 250th commission, but both Heritage Montgomery and the Montgomery History Organization are doing 250th planning separate from maybe official county recognition. And I'd really encourage, if you live in Montgomery County, to plug in with one of those organizations. And I can also include links to those organizations' websites in my wrap-up email to Christina. But by far the most active, like boots on the ground planning activities for the 250th is happening within these local commissions.
So you will be able to share us some contacts and people's names and stuff for these particular commissions or
Yes, I can definitely do that. Many of the contacts are listed on the Get Involved page. However, if your individual county or region is missing a point of contact, please feel free to let Christina know, and I'm happy to work with her to get you that information.
Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so
And
much.
thank you so much for all the great questions. I really am so excited how engaged everyone here was about it.
Great.
We do have some commissioners who placed some notes in the chat, and looks like there was a question about what about a cricket match in Frederick?
I think we should do
So-
Carroll County.
Yep.
That sounds great, and I would that's exactly the
Wait,
kind of
what,
event that
what county
Carroll-
did you just say, Fahim?
Carroll County was a joke.
I was saying that I know there's this, and I know Preeti, you're
Yeah.
involved with this whole push of cricket
Right.
in Frederick County.
Yes.
And I know there's so much work that's being done from different volunteers and cohorts within the county to get this cricket field up. And I'm just thinking, I'm going back to your slide about civic and engagement, and not everyone may not necessarily be into the history portion, right? So how do we make this engaging? I mean, it's summer, it's high summer, in fact, and it might be hot, like really hot, but maybe that's something that we consider doing. We could certainly work with Dr. Sectaria, and then also all of the Frederick folks that are already involved. Preet, you're already involved.
Sure.
And it's an event where you could bring, family members too. And I think you would not have any issues finding players at all to volunteer.
Right. Yes, and I think I think that's, absolutely. And I'll certainly be the first to be able to kind of help with all that. But okay, I think what we'll do now is if we can discuss that on our, our business and,
Yeah.
and on a planning, but I love the idea. Thank you.
Yeah, and Raza, this wouldn't be just women cricket match. This would be anyone, non-binary as well.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Great. Okay. If nobody else has any questions, then we'll move up to the next item, which is the commission events check-in. So if everybody would like to, give one by one any events they've attended and kind of talk about them, and would love to hear that.
And just to clarify, the commissioner events check-ins, this is any events that you have recently gone to since our last commission meeting that you want to report back on, or any upcoming events.
Anybody raising their hand?
I can go one.
Sure.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure to attend an organization called Branch Out, and thank to Christina to kind of chair that on our behalf. I was blown away by the intellects and it's for the K-12 organization. They were showcasing their activities and voluntary one, and also in the college entrance, and there's a lot of Ivy Leaguers there, and it's very well managed, very well organized, and I had no idea until I attended this group. So I highly recommend all commissions to be heavily involved, because they're doing some great work for our next generation. So it was at Jewish Community Center, and it was a very well organized event and an eye opener for me. So looking forward to attending similar kind of thing.
That was one of the 7 events that I counted with your
Okay, you
representation
did.
there.
All right. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Christina.
Wonderful, thank you.
There was one more, actually, that was a little bit prior to that, about a month or so. Is Archana here? I don't know if she's on.
Yes,
but-
I'm here.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah.
She's raised her
I'm
hand.
here,
So
yes.
on
that's
that one, yeah.
another great event that she led with the school districts, with some donations of school supply and everything. We were in Silver Spring, one of the great high schools, and that was also very well organized. And thanks to Archana for her leadership and for the
We-
invitation. So
We appreciate your support, the entire education committee, and especially you for coming and supporting. So thank you. Faisal.
absolutely, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Faisal.
Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
that. Archana?
Yes, so I just wanted to report few events that I attended. One of them was, as Commissioner Faisal mentioned, it was the school supply donation drive that I helped organize, and then we donated to 2 different organizations. One was Prince George's County's Stuff the Bus, and then second one was MLK Junior Middle School in Prince George's County. So that was one. Then speaking on behalf of Commissioner Shergill as well, we both attended Diwali organized by BAPS Mandir, and then also Diwali organized by Moko, Montgomery County. So that was, both events were great. And then this Saturday, I am attending, we all know Mr. Mayur Modi, American Diversity Group. So they requested commissioners to come and present some citations to the volunteers. So I will be going there representing our commission. That's all from me.
Thank you, Archana. That's great. You're a rock star. Thank you. Okay, great. Aarti?
I just wanted to, on that note, on Archana being a rock star, I just wanted to say, I think majority of us here, actually, I think we all attended the Diwali Fest. And Archana was kind enough to do the prayer song for us to kind of open up the event. And she was recommended from a community member, and you were just brilliant. And I was not aware that you were as talented as you are, Archana. I think with all of the civic and volunteer work you already are doing, it was just icing on the cake, because I think you initially were thinking to have a student do the prayer song, but I'm so glad that we decided not. We decided not to have a student. There was a lot of, as you know, there was lots of organizing to try to get performers and just other community members part of this event, because it was at the governor's house. It just changed up the process that we normally follow. But you were brilliant, and I just wanted to say thank you for all that you did, not only for, of course, the prayer song, but all the other efforts, both you and Aman, in supporting the planning for that. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we'll call on you most likely again to do some type of prayer song in the future. So thanks, Archana.
Thank you, thank you. That means a lot. But yes, I initially I was hesitant because I thought we should give opportunity to, youngsters, young generation, our future. But I'm happy to do it anytime. And just want to let you know that we also have another singer on our commission that you may not know, some hidden talent, Mr. Our Commissioner Kadir. Faisal Kadir is a good singer too.
Oh,
Oh, I did not know. Oh, we need karaoke night.
that's
Great,
right.
get
Sure,
that
I
set
would
up.
love to.
Talent show, yes.
We can do a talent show, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely have both of you actually, in fact, have some type of, not a singing competition, but a friendly, what is that game that
Antakshi. Antakshi.
yes, thank you. Good.
That should be the part of 250.
Yes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Exactly.
at the cricket match.
That's right.
All right, guys, great, great. Thank you, everybody, for all the things that you do and stay with the community and, wish we could all do more, but appreciate you guys representing us in all these events. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to item number 7. That is on old business. So we'll go with, start with the business and economic development. Faisal, would you be able to take the lead on this,
As far as the updates from last time, there's not much that I have, except that I did join several business events on, with commissioner's hat and without. But one thing that, I just wanted to bring up is that with the new administration and the government shutdown and everything else, we as commissioners have a very big responsibility to help each other out. A lot of small businesses, they're in trouble.
Yep.
Doge came in and pretty much, ended the contract in the midway. So I personally try to kind of help other businesses, but we all collectively can think about doing something. Our Governor Wes Moore is graciously trying to help those who were impacted on the shutdown, but also on the new projects, new opportunities, new helping hand, kind of dealing with this kind of turmoil situation. We should start thinking about what we can do in the near future, because it's not going to end. I know the government will open up. Hopefully, tonight is a big night to make the decision, but still this effect will linger, and it's still not stopping. So the small businesses are in trouble, actually. So we need to do something.
Yeah, sure. And then is that something, do you have any suggestions? I mean, do you want to, maybe have a meeting with the rest of the,
Yeah, I mean, the subcommittee.
unfortunately, Ubaid is, I think he's gotten a little tied up with
Right, exactly. I was trying to reach out to him to see if
Yeah,
we can have a subcommittee to do something, some seminar and some webinar,
right.
discussion, and see how we can
Sure.
help each other out. So, yeah, I'll try to engage,
Or even if we can, get some kind of a database of businesses that are like kind of really
Yeah.
suffering or something, which are, and
Right.
how we can, pass them on some information or some of the incentives, some of the things that the Maryland governor is doing
Yep.
for small businesses and also for federal employees, because
Yeah.
we get a lot of this information and maybe a lot of people are not aware of that. Just if we can spread that with all the communities and people, I think that'll be a good start. Or even see
Absolutely, Preeti.
if there's any other resources that they could get to, or something like that. Create
Exactly.
like a summary of a flyer or something to help them out.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
writing this down. Let me work on it, and then I should be able to report something back. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Make
Thank
it
you. That's
impact.
great.
I think that's pretty much it.
Anybody else on this commission that would like to say anything, or give any additional comments, or anybody on the commission? Okay, great. Okay. Moving on to the community commission subcommittee, Aarti, if you want to,
Yeah, sure. So I think we were all at Diwali. It was a massive success. We had 2.5 weeks, I think, to to plan and to execute, and it just all fell into place. So thank you everyone here for supporting, for Aman and Archana purchasing gifts and visits, Christina to the government house to do walkthroughs, and all of the different organizing that you all have done with in terms of recommending performers from the community or caterers or the decoration individual. She just blew me away. I had only attended an event that she did a couple of years ago. And so I was blown away. She did such a remarkable job. And I just kept hearing throughout the evening that they hadn't seen the government house so beautifully lit up, not only on the outside, but on the inside with all of the diyas and the lights and the colors and the fragrant, right, from all the flowers. I heard lots of great comments and feedback from the attendees. And, I think for me, I think you all probably, I think most of you have attended events at Government House, or at least certainly planned. That was my first, and it was 2.5 weeks, but the team that was leading it from Government House, from both the staff for both the governor as well as lieutenant governor, they just stepped in and they took the reins, and I happily followed because they were just they were just doing everything and anything, and were amazing to keep in contact and just text message any questions. It just moved really efficiently. And I really appreciated that because of the 2.5 weeks in the crunch time that we had. So I think the next planning, I know we said this a couple of months ago, a couple of meetings ago, let's get through Diwali and then we'll start really focusing on, Maryland 250. And I think if once we run through all the different the subcommittees, I would like to go back to the Maryland 250 discussion, considering it is November. Yeah, it's November. And I just need guidance, right, in terms of it's Maryland 250. So what is the time frame that we're looking at? There's lots of questions. Don't have me throw out an idea and then now my brain is just like going about a cricket match. Like what do we need? What do I need to do to organize? What subcommittees do we need? Who do we need to reach out to? So we'll get there. But I think all in all, I thought the Diwali event was a massive success. So thank you to all of you here for all your support, attendance, comments, feedback, everything that you all provided.
And Aarti, I would say, thank you to you for your leadership. I think, you were the sole person here who really took the lead and put everybody together and kind of coordinated it, which I know that's a lot of effort, but thank you for that. And I know the event, I also got a lot of really good comments. Even after the event, a lot of the secretaries came to me, everybody who attended there came to me and said like they've never seen anything like this in the State House, so it was really well done and very beautifully done. And thank you to Archana for the beautiful prayer, and Aman to help out as always, with a lot of the arrangements and things like that. So thank you, and everybody else who participated. So, and also everybody who came there. I mean, that was pretty long drive away, so I appreciate all that and all the support from the GOSI staff. That's all wonderful. So thank you, everybody. Yeah. And all events should be like this, and it should be coordinated and cooperative, and participation should be there. So I really appreciate all of you and everybody who participated. Thank you. Okay.
I would just like to do one last plug for Aman. I always appreciate the eloquent and graceful way you choose gifts, and Aman, the way that you present it just has a really nice touch. And I knew that when you and Archana and I were working on this, I just figured, I remember from what event was it that we did in Carroll County at the community college? I just remember the gift bags.
Yeah.
And that was
Pasaki.
Pasaki, yeah.
Yes. And I remember the gift bags, and I thought I'm gonna have Aman work on the gifts because she just does a really, really beautiful job of it. So thank you.
Great. Okay, moving on to education. I think Raza has gone back to the to the wedding party, so I don't see him there. So anybody else on that subcommittee who wants to talk? Any meetings you guys have had, or I think
Yeah,
Preeti,
so
yeah.
well, last time I talked to Raza, he said that he was going to start it up again and schedule another call. I know it's been a while since we met. Like the last thing that I remember being on our thing was proposing legislations to, from our commission. And we proposed two of them over the summer. I don't know if you remember the one that was the South Asian American Curriculum Development and Implementation Act, and then the Inclusive School Closures Act for Eid, Diwali, Vaisakhi, and as official holidays. So I don't know what happened with those legislations. I haven't heard anything back. I don't know if Raza got any input directly. So we're just waiting to hear on what happened with those. But that was the last thing on our list. So we'll keep you posted on what happens when we meet again.
Thank you for your input over there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So moving on to the health, I don't see Dr. Nawaz or Dr. Bandari here, but anybody else on the Health Commission who wants to give any input here? If not, I can let you know that I know that Dr. Bandari and has been planning to do a health fair, and I know he had a pretty well robust plan for that, and but I think he had unfortunately something happened in his family, so it kind of it took a little bit of a backseat. But I know he has some proposals for that, and that'll probably happen somewhere in the first quarter of 26. So that's on his side. On Dr. Nawaz, I know we've talked about there's certain programs being rolled out by the state, which is called the HEAD program, and which is going to affect a lot of the medical practices, and almost 40% of the medical practitioners are South Asian. So he has been planning to meet with the Secretary of State to kind of put together some seminars or some kind of talking points for the physicians to really understand these programs and all that. So I know he's been working on that. So I think he'll be able to better explain it. But I just wanted to give you an overview of what they've been thinking about. So now
Yeah.
we'll move on to, sorry, go ahead.
Real quick, like he had mentioned an environmental stewardship project in one of his emails. I just pulled it up, and in that email he'd mentioned mini peace forests or gardens. So that's something I think might be nice to think about too for Maryland 250, to have those peace forests or peace gardens like sprinkled throughout Maryland. Where folks can go. So he has a lot of good details listed here.
Are you talking about Dr. Bandari?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah, this is like from September 23rd email that he sent.
Okay, great. So thank you for bringing that out. Anything
Yeah.
else on that email that you want to mention?
It just mentions the peace gardens, and then project aims to address critical environmental challenges such as urban heat islands, flooding, and inadequate storm water management and within disadvantaged communities in PG and Montgomery County. Actively engage South Asian immigrant populations through culturally relevant outreach and strategies, fostering greater inclusivity and in local environmental actions. So I think it's really, I think it's a great idea. We should follow up on it.
All great ideas. And I think this, we can definitely talk about the peace gardens in MD 250. I think that'll be a great addition to, that
Yes, he mentioned that
celebration.
in the last commission meeting.
Yep. Okay, great. Wonderful. All right, over to Devang, legislative subcommittee.
So I've been speaking to Delegate Harry Bandari. He chairs the API caucus. And we came up with some points on potential legislation, and we'll have a meeting with him. I will recommend that any commissioner that wants to join that meeting join, because the points that we came across really cuts across all the different committees that we have. So for example, let me give you some examples. Protecting religious attire and public safety roles. So ensuring Sikhs and other religious minorities can wear turbans, hijabs, and other articles of faith while serving in police, fire, and EMS positions. Funding cultural competency training for public safety departments. Of course, the cultural holiday recognition we talked about with Diwali, Eid, Lunar New Year. Expanded language access mandates for state agency schools, healthcare providers. Promoting, I think Preeti was talking about the promoting ethnic studies curriculum that includes API history and contributions. Mandating a disaggregated health data collection to identify disparities among Asian subgroups. Looking at expanding access to state contracts and procurement for Asian-owned businesses, but also some minor things such as workforce development programs and credential recognition of foreign credentials. So when somebody comes from another country, their credentials are recognized to a certain extent, so they don't have to go through the full gambit. Let's see, strengthening hate crime enforcement and reporting mechanisms, advocating for appointments for Asian Americans to state boards and commissions. So all of that. So we'll have a lot on the table. And then I will talk to Delegate Bhandari about the strategy to employ. Again, the governor did make a comment to Dr. Suresh Sigupta about he would support a Diwali holiday statewide. And we would add Eid and Lunar New Year to that. But there are complications to that with certain caucuses opposing that. But I will set up a Zoom meeting with or Teams meeting with Delegate Bhandari, and I'll send that out to everybody, and I'll give advance notice so everyone can join us, because again, it does cut across all the different various committees, and you might have your own input on what we should or should not be doing.
Great. And one thing, just to add on there, I think is also that, there is now, I think, 3 states that have, adopted Diwali as an official holiday, right? I mean, I think that's one of the things that has already happened, and it's been just implemented by the governor's order too. I mean, so there has been some legacy on that. So I think if you want to somehow, take those points into consideration when you talk to the governor or to the legislative, committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else, any comments? I think that was a lot, Devang, but really appreciate that. I think all these are very important issues to the community and, as a whole, and also, overall for Maryland, to be a state of welcoming, different communities and be a secular state. So really appreciate that leadership that you're taking on this one.
Thank you.
And if you could share the dates of any of these meetings that commissioners can, attend, and how they can attend, or if you could even put it on the group on a WhatsApp saying, hey, there's a meeting coming up.
That's what I'll do. With the link on WhatsApp.
That'll be awesome. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Getting on to the
Actually, if Commissioner Shah can email those to me,
okay,
that'd be helpful.
I haven't set anything up with the delegate, but as soon
Because
as he gets me some.
not everybody is on the WhatsApp. So.
Oh, is that right? Okay. So I can do both then, Christina, right? I can send it to you and also post it on WhatsApp.
I think all the commissioners are definitely on WhatsApp, from my understanding.
WhatsApp is not official. You need to be sending it to me.
Right.
Thank you.
I understand. Got it. Okay. Right. Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. Moving on to MD 250. So Aarti, you want to be a moderator here and just kind of guide us through what you'd like to learn and what you'd like to, how you'd like to, move forward with this?
Yeah, so I think, there was a few different ideas that we've discussed previously, the Peace Garden, also the blood drive, and then just the cricket match that I threw out there today. So I think I mean, full transparency, I have not thought about Maryland 250 at all outside of the two or three emails that I sent last year trying to get in touch with someone, and it didn't come to fruition. So I just need guidance. I mean, we can put whatever it is, that we as a group would like to do for Maryland 250 to represent our community. I just need guidelines, Christina, I guess, from you or Go See in terms of logistics, right? Like budget, logistics, all of that. And what is a time frame? Maryland 250. I know it's a what was the term that Mary used? Not season, but it's not one date.
The
Sorry?
quincentennial? Oh,
Right. She was saying that, I don't know if the term was season, that I may have it wrong, but essentially what I took from that is, it's Maryland 250. So in terms of timing, right, we have a little bit of allowance in terms of when we would want. It's not a specific date that we need to do something. So I need guidance around that. And if we're going to treat Maryland 250 like we've done previous events, right, where we have sponsors, right, to help provide any type of budgetary needs, things like that. So
right.
those are
So,
the first couple of questions that I have.
so the thing to do is to try to decide on what type of project or initiative or event that you want to do as commissioners, and then determine a budget for that. What are the needs? What are the potential needs to be covered? And do you need a place? Do you need a venue?
No. So I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My apologies. Before we get to that part of the planning, I need to understand what are the guidelines from the state, from Go See office. Is there location guidelines? Is there county guidelines? Is there the timing in terms of a date guidelines? We want to ensure that we're not overlapping with, well, how do we know what other commissions are doing? You said that other commissions have already planned activities.
So I'll give the example of the Asian Pacific American Commission. It's not a planned event. What they're doing is having interviews, like testimonials, about the Asian American experience of my family. So I was interviewed. How did I come to Maryland? What does Maryland mean to me? So
Got it.
So it's each commission might do something totally different.
Yeah.
Right.
So now my question is, now you did that, but who did you do it with, and how are they going to showcase that? Where are they going to showcase it? I think that's the kind of questions that, I think Aarti also might be having, but I have these questions that, okay, we can get.
So again, going back to the example I gave, those videos are going to be on the website, on the Maryland 250 website, and also be used in any other type of events that we might have, such as maybe at the Lunar New Year's event or for APA Heritage Month.
Got it. So basically it's all through the year. We are celebrating Maryland 250 all through the year. Is that what you're trying to say? Got it. Okay. So sorry, not to cut anybody off, but I think Aarti, just hearing what we heard from Mary and also just what I'm hearing from Christina, I think the direction which I feel we should take is, number one is kind of look at it from a cultural aspect, from a sports aspect, from our heritage aspect, from our different community aspect, right? And at least put like a format of what are these things that we can all look together and then say, okay, from a cultural aspect, what can be showcased, right? And then what we do is, I think the next step would be to see what is happening at every county level, at every, at the county level, at the city level, at the state level, right? Really to understand where is all the participation that we can get, and to really try to showcase or do what we want to do. Because I think I have no clarity on that. I mean, we've been trying to get that clarity, and I have no clarity on it. I mean, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think that's where we need to go with this. Because I think key is like we can only plan if we know what we're trying to showcase and where we're trying to do it and how we're going to get that, whatever we are doing, get it out to the community or to the state. And or whether it's on the state level or even, at a federal level or national level, right? So I think that's the most important part. I think we really need to figure this out. And I think the way I'm looking at it, we are on our own to figure it out. I don't think so. There's going to be a very clear guideline, from anybody on that. I mean, we just have some pieces coming from one place, another piece coming from somewhere. So I think we'll have to put some time into it ourselves to really figure this out. That's my feeling I'm getting.
Yeah,
After.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be whatever we want it to be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think if we decide to do the Peace Garden, and maybe it's multiple things, I want to be sure that we are taking capacity in consideration, because I think we always want to shoot for the stars, and but we need to execute. So I think, from everything that I've heard, Christina, what you've shared and just past meetings, and Preeti, your takeaway, I that's my takeaway as well. I think we can make this whatever we want it to be in terms
Right.
of resources. I think we're going
Yes.
to do the same thing that we've done previously, which is we're going to get sponsors, we're going to get community members to help, in terms of
Exactly.
donations and all that whole stuff, similarly to what we've done for other Diwali events or other AAPI events that we've done in partnership
Right.
with the other commission. My question is, well, one, I think it was Preeti that you offered to help. Thank you, because we do need to get a subcommittee set up for that. So of course, if you are interested in helping with the planning, whatever that planning may be, please obviously, shoot me an email or just ping me on WhatsApp. Sorry, Preeti, you had your hand up. My apologies.
Yeah, no, I think the subcommittee is important, and like someone who kind of can keep track of all the activities that pertain to Maryland 250, because there are lots of good ideas. And I still want to go back to an idea that Amin had, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 meetings ago, for doing acts of services and highlighting those. So if we could gather short write-ups and of acts of service that are happening in our community in different counties, I would love to help Amin with that. And I'm pretty decent in organizing things. So if I can help manage who's doing what and just kind of come up with a plan and then make sure that information gets added to whatever website or gets sent to whomever, I'm happy to do all that, create some sort of a repository of information that we can collect. And I mean, I think it's and if other commissions end up doing the same thing, like acts of service, I think that's great. I think an overlap is totally fine, as long as it's not an overlapping of an event on the same day, so that we can kind of support each other. But I definitely want to be involved in this.
Krishna?
So, oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Christian. You're saying something? Archana?
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to ask Christina about this Maryland 250 event. Like we have done events in partnership with the other commission, is there an opportunity, or do you recommend that events, like if we do decide to do, let's say, blood donation drive, should we partner with the other commission?
It's certainly a possibility. I don't know exactly what all of the different commissions are doing or plan to do. I only know specifically for the Asian Pacific American Commission, but I do know that there has been talk amongst the staff that some of the other commissions have already either started their implementation or planning to soon.
Okay.
So just to give, Archana, just to piggyback on that, I'm having actually a call with all in fact, that's part of the reason I wanted to get this together was with all the chairs of all the commissions, right? And this is all the commissions that are under GOSI. So we're going to have a call next week. And this was one of the main things that I wanted to kind of focus on with them was to see, what each one of those, what's their understanding, what's their commissions doing, and what are the things that we can all partner up on some things and stuff like that, right? So that's exactly was my biggest purpose of putting that together. So I just want to share that. Then next week there is going to be a call, and and Chair Yu was instrumental in kind of initiating it, and then we talked about it, and then we kind of put that call together. So next week is the call, and I'll certainly bring all this up with them. And again, directionally, I would say this again that I think the first step would be to just look at the top 10 things that we feel we should be looking at, and then like something like what Christina said, like making a video of our people who've been here and different cultures or whatever, just making a short video just displaying the South Asian cultures, or I mean the communities and the activities in like a 2-3 minutes video, and then that can be played. It can be played anywhere, right? If you make it good enough, I think and we put it on that website, 250 website, a lot of people who are doing different events will pick that up and kind of just showcase it, right? So that's our contribution as South Asians to our country and to our state. So I think those are kind of things we should quickly start to think about. On the other hand, doing this peace garden, I mean, if it's something that we want to do with dedicated to yoga and meditation, right? This is something we can take to at the governor level, lieutenant governor level, or at a county level to ask for a piece of land, maybe a small park or something dedicated to that. That's something we can start thinking about, but we'll have to move on all this stuff, right? And all these great ideas, but I think it's now time that we really narrow down, maybe 10 things and then make it down to 4 or 5, and then slowly kind of start working on those and see what we can do. But I think the opportunities are going to be at every level, city level, state level, county level, where things are happening. And now it's and especially I know each one of us are very active in our counties, and especially I know Montgomery County, Frederick, I think we got that pretty well covered. Then there's other counties which we can kind of cover and start to piggyback with them, try to do what we need to do. And then we can make budgets and everything, and we can go out to the community and get the funds collected and all that. I think we'll be in a good spot. But I think we just need to come together. And I would say, Aarti, your commission, all the commissioners on your commission should be involved. And then anybody from any other commissions who want to be part of that committee would be great. Any volunteers, right? So that's the directionally, I would say, if we take that direction, there'll be some path for us to like come together, fairly quickly.
Yeah, from the Education Commission, I think we should also try to partner with South Asian like student clubs and things in universities or high schools and like get them involved and get ideas from them. I think that would be really good. I could see like these students doing reels and about what they're doing in their community and like hashtagging if there's a hashtag. I don't know if they're still hashtagging, but whatever. Like, Maryland 250 and us like keeping an eye on that. I think that would be really good.
Yep. Sorry, Aman, I know you had your hand raised a couple of times. So if you want to please.
No, I was just going to loop back when we were sort of trying to figure out what the expectation is. So from my understanding, as you both rightly mentioned, it's really what it is we want to make.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can help with immediately, because I shared Dr. Hem, his name and his website in our chat. So I've been having conversations with him, and he's really looking to partner in Montgomery County and PG County to plant these peace gardens. And he's actually looking for involvement from the South Asian Commission, and he also has a grant for this. So
Okay.
I'm just thinking we can get started on that immediately.
Yep. Great suggestion. Yeah. Anybody else?
In the
So,
chat,
Yeah.
Sushma commented that she likes the idea of a blood drive, but maybe a bone marrow drive, as it's harder for South Asians to get a match, and it might be something that ties to our commission.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
yep,
great.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's so
absolutely.
true.
Yep. And we
Like,
can
I
help
can
with
see,
that.
like, I can see the ideas kind of formulating, and then like commissions from different, like education commission takes a lead on something, health commission takes a lead on
Right.
something. And so then this way, Aarti, it's not just like one person doing it all, right? And then like if there is an actual in-person event, then like Aarti, you take the lead on it. I can see Amin taking the lead on like collecting like the acts of service type things, you know. I think we can all really get involved, which will be really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, this has to be a collective effort. I mean, we are all, blessed to be in Maryland, and the state, sticks with us, and we've chosen this country as a home, and I think we all need to be involved. I would really encourage everybody to please contribute. And Aarti, any support you need from, not just from me, but from many of these commissioners, I think you can personally request that. I would say, just be a little bold and just ask. You know what I mean? I think nobody's going to be on this commission who's going to refuse you. So don't feel, that you're doing this on your own. Would really like for you to, ask for help, or, not
Yeah.
help.
Yeah,
Just-
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm taking some notes here. What I can do is, I'm gonna do this over email and not WhatsApp because it's a
Yeah.
lot of writing. But I'm gonna just collect all of these ideas that you all have been discussing here. The Peace Garden, the blood drive, bone marrow drive, the social awareness, acts of service campaign, the cricket match, and I don't know, what did I miss? Was there anything else that I missed? Oh, there was, I think, some cultural event, right?
Yeah.
Night. Yeah. So let me
Culture,
I
and
need-
also I would say, making that short video, that would be really good one, which we can kind of do something on that, get some prominent, people to speak or something, I don't know. Just
well,
think
do
about
we, do we create the social awareness campaign, the acts of service, is that in video format, right?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
is that, I don't know, a community member sending us a clip of them, volunteering, whatever it is, like maybe that is the video, and we can take a compilation of that and, spit that out. And that would be the social awareness campaign, right, in video format. And, they can put that on that Maryland 250 site. I just want to make sure that I just need to better understand, like, what is the expectation? I sent out this recap email because I have to put pen to paper for my brain to function. So, which I'll do after this meeting. But are we looking to make a decision? When are we looking to make a decision by? Are we taking a vote? Right? Like how is this working? Because these are all really great ideas. I just want to be very mindful that this is Q4, not only professionally, but also personally for a lot of folks, right? In terms of holidays, the capacity for folks, bandwidth for folks gets very limited.
Archana.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that, since we're talking about making a video, and Christina mentioned that the other
We're not
commission.
over promising and under delivering.
Oh, sorry. So since Christina mentioned that the other commission is planning to make videos of AAPI members who started their journey and how their journey has been in Maryland, and maybe we can focus on South Asian American immigrants, how they have contributed to Maryland. So it will be slightly different videos and testimonies, but it will cover another aspect of this community.
Sure, thank you. Sushma? Did you lose her?
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
I was just saying, Arch and I really like that idea, and maybe we've been to so many events and we have so many clips, and I know Amin probably has thousands of clips, but if we do a little video of 250, I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but like 250 either acts of service with the South Asian community or 250 events, and just a little picture, a quick slideshow, and that can be part of Maryland 250. I mean, it's a little different than the commissioners talking, but like you said, just showcasing what South Asian events and things that we have in our community, and then how it's impacted Maryland or it's contributed to Maryland in some way.
Sure. No, yep, absolutely. So Aarti, going back to your question, like, do we put a vote on it? Do we put, what do we do? So, I mean, I would say, like, if, we make a committee, if whoever, I mean, obviously you are right now the, chair of the subcommittee, community subcommittee. And I think as long as all the idea come in and all the commissioners contribute, I mean, even we can start as a Google sheet or something, that will be easier for everybody to kind of write their ideas on. But in the end, I think it should, from my perspective, the community subcommittee should, or whoever's chairing that should be the one, who should be voting on it. Whatever you put.
The commission has to vote. The commission has to vote on it.
Well, I mean,
So
the
planning committee.
No, wait a minute. You didn't let me finish. I've got to finish this. What I'm saying is the subcommittee makes that decision internally, and then we can vote on, the final text that you have to say, okay, yeah, this is good to go. And we don't need to be involved in like 50 decisions, I mean, we can be involved in the final few decisions that the subcommittee picks. And that's part of the reason we have these subcommittees.
The subcommittee has to come up. The subcommittee brings up the proposals to the commission. The commission has to vote on it.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. That the subcommittee brings up the final proposal of what they decide on. And then we vote on it to say, okay, we accept this. Right?
Yes, the commission has to vote on it, has to make the final decision.
Correct. That's fine. So is that fair, Aarti? Or, I mean,
Yeah, no, it is. I'm gonna create, I'll create a Google folder for this, similarly to what we did with past events. I'll start jotting down. I'll share all the notes that I have. By all means, feel free to add on if there's things that I may have missed, either from the chat or the comments. Let me do that. And then ideally, I guess my question is, again, dates. Like when are we looking to make a decision on, if we're doing something that is, I mean, for lack of a better word, a lighter lift versus a heavier lift, right? Like an in-person event is going to be a much heavier lift versus creating maybe a social awareness campaign for highlighting prominent personalities or 250 acts of service. I actually would consider that a heavy lift as well. But I guess my question is, something that's digital versus in person, right? Two vastly different lifts. When are we looking to make a decision on what it is that we actually want to move forward with?
So what I would suggest, and this is just a suggestion and anybody can chime in, is let's say, today is the 12th of November, right? I mean, I would let you make a decision by when can you put that, Google sheet together, and give everybody maybe a week or 10 days to add on whatever they do, right? Put a timeline on that. And once we have that list from there, your subcommittee can meet and say what are the ones that you feel you like to prioritize and how you like to prioritize. And then what we can put is dates on those and resources that we have, right? And then we can kind of plan it as a small project, and we can put what is realistic and what is not. I mean, once we have that in paper, I guess we'll have reality in front of us, what is realistic, what is not, right?
Yeah.
And then
Sure.
based on that, we'll start to, kind of work on one thing at a time and depending on the resources, the budgets and everything, I'd be happy to, help you with that, Aarti. To do some planning and try to move things forward. I'll be very happy to do that.
Well-
And just keep things on a tight timeline, right? Because, I think what has happened is, all this while we were looking for direction, but now in the end, I think it's time that, direction has to be taken by us and we have to put it on path. So we'll just put it on a path that, we all kind of feel comfortable with without stressing anybody out. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? And we'll do our best. We'll just do our best. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so I just need date stamps. So I'm gonna push something out to you all by Friday. I'll
Okay.
put this together and I will make it where you all can edit. If you all can at least comment by next Friday, the 21st, I'll put this in my email as well. It would be very helpful. I don't want to bother anyone the week of the 24th. And then obviously we're in December thereafter. But I think if we can target by, it does November 21st to decide what we want.
Just put it, I would, if you don't mind, put it on the 23rd. So my 24th, is Monday. So that way people have, a couple of weekends also to work on. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So can we
just put
say
the
that
23rd,
November?
by the 23rd, everybody gives their comments. After that, we close, comments. I mean, if there's something that comes up which is exceptionally acceptable, which we can easily, incorporate, then we'll incorporate that. But at least by that time, we'll get something rolling.
Yeah, okay. So then am I hearing you correctly that we are going to decide what we are moving forward with before the end of this month?
Well, so what I'm trying to say is till the 23rd, let's get all our ideas, everybody that's, kind of given the ideas, right? Then after that, you'll have to put your subcommittees, your whoever wants to be part of the 250 committee, have a couple of meetings with them and get to see, what's practical, what's not, and put some dates, right? And then I would say, maybe, I mean, I would let you think through this a little bit because it's not, this is not, this is not, something that's it's undertaking, it's.
Are we meeting? Do we have a meeting in December or maybe I'm mixing up my committees?
We don't, but we can have,
No.
we can have a meeting.
Or do we not have it?
The chair can call a meeting.
Yeah.
We don't have a quarterly, this is the last quarterly commission
Right.
meeting for this
Yeah.
year. But the chair can call a meeting.
Okay, I don't want to put a meeting on and, it is December. I recognize that. But would you all be willing or would you be able would you be able to attend if we pick maybe something early to mid-December? Is that feasible? I know before it cuts into any holidays.
I think if we have like an hour meeting, though, should be good enough.
An hour.
I think a meeting between the 15th and 19th, if that's possible, maybe a good time, because by then there should be enough time for us to have some, thought into this.
Okay.
And I understand a lot of people, may not be available. As long as we have a quorum, we'll be good.
Okay.
I agree with Fahim, though. A shorter meeting would definitely be a lot more feasible than a 2-hour one.
Absolutely, 100%. It's going to be a short, quick meeting.
No, this would be a special meeting. It's not a commission
it's
meeting.
not. It's not.
It wouldn't be a full commission meeting.
Yeah. So
This would be
hopefully,
specific.
yeah. Hopefully, what the idea of that meeting is that our subcommittee has already kind of identified things that will be really something we can practically plan for the 250, and then as a commission we just have to kind of put in a vote, to kind of say yes, go ahead with it. That's about it. So it won't take us more than half an hour, hopefully.
Well, we're going to schedule an hour. We can use 30 minutes and you all can gain 30 minutes back.
You're the boss.
Yes, I agree. Can we get a group together now Wait,
Yeah.
sorry, when you say that, are we talking about subcommittee? Aman, I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly.
Yeah, just so that we can get moving. So,
Yeah, I agree.
deciding on what, I rather us finalize the committee and then those that are going to be part of it, so we can start communicating and working on it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, now I know we lost some members and all that, who all is on your committee, Aarti?
So I know, my three go-tos always, Raza, Aman, Archana. They're in everything. And then I always pull in Fahim. So you'll probably be pulled into this one as well. I think I think that's the core. Preeti, Aman, Archana, Raza, Fahim.
And then if anybody else is interested, please, either you can say it now or you could send Aarti a message, that you're
Yeah,
interested.
absolutely. The more
Yeah.
we have, the better we're able to divvy up all of the
I would
efforts.
like to be on the committee.
You read my mind, Sushma. I was going to say, can we pull you in?
Yeah, yeah.
But he was always volunteered, so he's good to go. Look at him, he's smiling. So I see a nod, he's yes. Yeah. Amarjeet Paji. I think he's on mute. Yeah. Okay. All right. And anybody else who wants to volunteer, please go ahead and please send a message to directly to Aarti that you'd like to be on that subcommittee for 250. So that'll be great.
Yeah, so I will push something out to you all by Friday on just the initial draft of some of the key ideas that we discussed here today for Maryland 250, the subcommittee members, and then the date for our December meeting as well. I can work back with Lisa and Christina and Preet with you all in terms of exact date and timing. All right, this is great. This is good stuff.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Keeping time in mind, it's 7:46. I'll give about a minute more. Anybody has any comments on MD 250? Okay, looks like we made good progress today. Thank you, Aarti, for taking the lead on this again. Okay, moving on to the new business. Committee charges and future work. I think we talked a lot about 250. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? Anybody has any comments on that? Okay. All right. Looks like there's nothing over there. Public announcement. I'd like to just announce one thing. Governor Westmore gives out a very nice newsletter on a monthly basis. Explaining a lot of the programs going on and a lot of things that are going on in the state. And so does the Lieutenant Governor, and it really gives a good insight to what's happening. If somebody hasn't signed up for those, I would really highly recommend that go ahead and sign up for that. It really is very informative and gives a lot of information. So that's what I would recommend. Anybody else?
Could I just add in this space, we're getting a lot of calls for people in desperate need of food. So if I can share some information through our non-formal platform, WhatsApp, would folks be willing to donate food here in Montgomery County and in PG County? There's been a recent high demand of folks calling in, and we can't keep up with the demand.
Yes, please do share that, and we'll be happy to pass it around and contribute personally too.
Thank you.
Mike, are we able to donate dollars as well, or is it just? Yes.
So we're collecting dollars as well as canned goods.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Did you just put it in here?
No, I'll share information in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
That'll be fine. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. All right. I think now we would probably go ahead and close the meeting. Anybody, any comments? Okay, if there's no comments, anybody, who would pass a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I pass a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say yay.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Any nays? No nays? Okay,
So
great.
Archana Thacker made the motion,
Yes.
and who seconded the motion?
Nivea Ori.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful holiday season. And we will probably catch up one more time before the New Year's. So
Don't forget
Happy
to see the
Thanksgiving.
Northern Lights.
yes, that's right.
All right.
right.
Have a good night.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good night. Thank
Good
you,
night.
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.